Welcome to the All Things BMX Show, Season 6, Show 244. Welcome. We're going to get down in the dirt tonight with the mastermind himself behind the most epic trail event going on in BMX history right now. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
You know what trails means, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I understand that.
All right. Got Travis Johnston joining us from the Ohio BMX Trail Jam Series tonight. You got questions, get them in the chat.
Yeah, get them in there now.
Get them in there now. That'll help.
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be, this is when you want to do it now. That way we can get to them.
Right.
You guys, get ready. It's going to be a fun time. As always, you can join us almost each and every week.
Yeah.
We got out the gas so we can go ride our bikes this summer. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to be I'm going to be out of Ridgefield next Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Yep.
All right. Well, I might pop in there as well.
Might as well. No, we're not doing a remote show from there.
Bro, you got to get those locals in for the state series.
I know. Yep. You can do it 8 o'clock normally on Twitch, YouTube. You can find us all around. We are on Facebook right now, so give us a like, give us a follow on Facebook, and you can always go over and check us out afterwards if you miss us on YouTube and your favorite podcast channel, whatever it is, whatever site it is. We're on all of them.
Yeah, anywhere you get a podcast from, you can get us.
Yep. And we're always over there on Instagram, too.
Spotify.
Yeah.
All that
We're on there. We're on all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're coming to you live from the Ethan Clark Studios here in Heartland, Michigan, brought to you by the good people at Motor City Harley-Davidson's, who you can find in Farmington Hills, Michigan. Chris, do they got an event this weekend, buddy, that's just calling your name?
I saw that. I'm like, Justin's going to be all over this.
Stars and Stripe Bike Night with a bikini contest.
Yeah.
They don't want you to be a judge, by the way. They want you in the contest.
No.
Yeah, buddy.
Again. They don't want me there for that.
It's going to be a good time.
Now, judging, that's a whole nother story.
I'm sure Nick will get you in there. He'll get you in there.
Nick's a good dude. He'll take care of us.
It's going on July 18th, 5 to 9 there at Motor City Harley-Davidson.
It is in the evening. All right.
You could make it after work, buddy.
Yeah.
Sean's got them assless chaps he made for you.
No, this is a Friday night, isn't it? Yeah.
I don't know what July 18th. I just read what's on the screen.
Yeah. Yeah, check
out
Motor City. Yeah, we might have to.
That'd be the weekend before we got to go up north and then back to Ridgefield.
No, I can't. I'm going to be.
You're going to be out of town.
I'm going to be out.
Maybe Paul and I'll go check it out.
Cheap
drinks, food, great music, good times. Make sure you check them out. It's at 24800 Haggerty Road, Farmington Hills, Michigan. Support them that support us. Melissa's off tonight, so filling in tonight for her back there at the Gate 9 Producer's Perch is the man, the myth, the legend himself. He has very little to say tonight to Troy Velvet Smooth. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. And if you guys are looking for the best in BMX number plates, Gate 9 number plates is who you dial up. Get them made. He does awards, too. He does pretty good at those. You seen them plates he's made for the flat pedal series?
Yes.
There you go. That's who.
No, they're awesome. He makes all my number plates, man.
Yeah, we know how particular you are getting Waterford Oaks on your number plates.
Nope.
Chris and I are at the Ghetto Wear News Desk tonight where it's popping off for the coolest and lifestyle apparel. Make sure you check out Ghetto Wear. We got the third stop of the Fast AF after 46 flat pedal series going down, coming up in 2 weeks out at Ridgefield Park. Stop number 3, July 20th, at the only rock and roll BMX track in the country, Ridgefield Park BMX. Registration opens at 11. Make sure you guys get out there, check it out. Even if you're not going to race in it, come out there, check it out. It's going to be a good time. We got to thank Ridgefield for hosting the third stop. They've got about $500 up right now for payouts along with entry fees. And also they'll have the kickback from the Only Flats sales that we've done at their track.
Shirts.
So that money gets tossed in there too. So it'll be a good day of payout. And also look, every time you buy a Only Flats shirt, money goes to the year-end payout too.
Yeah, you can find those over at Dye Job Apparel. Just look them up on Facebook.
Yeah, and you guys are supporting us. You can support them, and they can support the series even more. Yeah. So big thanks.
Plus, just come out. If you're not doing the series, you don't have to do the
still
series.
A local race that you got to get in.
Yeah, take place in the that day's event for, So come on out. Anybody jump in. It doesn't just have to be the full series. You can just do one of them.
We already got $100 straight from just the T-shirt sales into the year end, so it's stuff.
That's awesome.
And then we have our people that support the show, and we want to give them a shout out because without them, it doesn't happen, right? So we want to start off by saying thanks to Krupp and Carter. Krupp and Carter is the official BMX brand made for BMXers by BMXers. And you guys are looking for the coolest apparel, make sure you get over and check them out. Lots of nice stuff over there. They got some great new shorts they brought out. Just get over there to CarterCompany.com. Check them out.
Check them guys out. Also, make sure you stop by On Two Wheels BMX at the next big event you're at. Look for the bright orange tent. Tell them the ATB crew sent you. They'll take care of you.
And the Hack Shack, it's your full service mobile bike shop. The Hack Shack make also the best sprint stands you're going to buy. Make sure you check them out. You can hit up Homie Mike through Facebook. He'll make you a side hack too, because it's home of the straight hacking side hacks that he makes. You can get them from 16-inch wheels all the way up to 29-inch. Hit up Mike Melvin now. Get your dream side hack built.
Yes.
There's like another one of them old school events coming up, right?
Yeah. Frogtown.
Get it made before that one.
Get your order in now so you don't have to. So Mike doesn't have to rush.
Yeah.
Order now. It's a little heads up thing there. Yeah. And get a sprint stand too. You need one of those. Also, make sure you check out Wrenchman Wheel Builds. If you get your wheels built by them and you use the ATB code BRODEAL, they will send you a free high five with your new wheels.
We got to come up with a new joke for that one.
Yeah, we do.
You guys don't forget Dye Job Apparel. We mentioned them earlier. You guys get over, check them out. If you guys got T-shirts you need made, jerseys you need made, awards, they've done everything from like foam fingers all the way to umbrellas. If you're looking to brand your track, your team, your business, Dye Job Apparel is the place you want to stop at. They make everything happen. It's a very easy, effortless process. Bringing your ideas to life, call up Dye Job Apparel. They can make your dream a reality.
Yeah. And Justin just said the foam fingers. So, they have those big foam fingers with like the number one.
Yeah, I'm getting a number one for you, buddy.
And they'll put your track name on there or your favorite rider, and then you can cheer them on. It's a cool little deal. It's just like you see at, professional sports events. All right. Also, we want to thank DB Sports World, upstate New York's premier BMX shop. So they can take care of all your BMX needs, from frame and fork to complete bikes, accessories, service. They do it all over there at DB Sports World.
All the links for the people that we mentioned, and also all of Travis's sponsors that he's going to have for his show and information regarding his events, they'll be in the show notes. If you guys are watching right now, they're also in there for Travis's event. So you guys can find out and know where you need to go. Make sure you guys support those that support us. We appreciate it. Tonight's chat question is brought to you by the good people at BMX Rocks Photography, who has the best bargain you can get for $25. For a whole year, you get the VIP photo package. What she does is for $25, she puts a sticker on your helmet or your number plate, wherever you want, takes a whole bunch of pictures of you at whatever event you're at that she's at. Then you just go online, you get the VIP package, you get to go on early and get your pictures and download them with no watermarks. It's a deal. So our question for this evening, did you think of a spot yet? No? So your question this evening, what and where are your favorite trails? Chris?
Well,
make something up.
All right. All right. How about I go old school? Clarkston Road trails over in Clarkston.
We were talking about them on the show.
Yeah, we did talk about it a few weeks ago. Yeah,
those were good.
They were sweet.
I don't even remember the names of them though.
No, it was just the Clarkston trails.
Was it? Those are nice.
Yeah,
I'm going with the Ann Arbor trails.
All right,
being there next to work and right by work.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to come over there sometime. You have to show me around.
Yeah. Well, speaking of trails.
Yeah.
Let's welcome our guest on, and we can ask him.
Right.
What and where are your favorite trails, Travis?
It's going to be a biased answer. It's going to be in my backyard. Spent 3 years building them and spent a ton of time there. So, of course, those are going to be my favorite. But
sure,
it really is a loaded question with all the choices we have here in Ohio. There's a lot of great spots. So it's tough. I like everything about all the spots that are on the series, and there's some other trails that are not on the series that are really, really awesome and up and coming, and hopefully we can get them on the series, in future seasons.
Okay. Sounds good. So let's start off. Let's ask you this question we ask everybody. How did you find out about the sport of BMX?
That's a good one. I moved in with my dad to live full time between like my fifth and sixth grade year of school, like that summer. And he was trying to find something to get me into so we could try out a sport or something together. And originally, we were trying to get into go-kart racing, and we kept going to this go-kart track in Circleville, but ultimately it was expensive, and it just required more time than we had to give to it. And he was talking to a buddy at work about it, whose son, Ronnie Atkins, that raced for MCS at the time. He was talking to his buddy, and his buddy's like, well, my son races BMX. Maybe you guys should consider that. So we went down to the Cobra BMX track in Columbus, Ohio. It was in Here Park, and just immediately fell in love with it after watching a few motos. We were hooked. So we went and got bikes, and I think about a year or two later, he was TO of that track, and he was the operator for most of the 90s, and I think maybe to 2001, 2002. I don't remember, but he would be able to answer that if you were here.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was our intro to BMX. We just kind of heard about it, went to a race, and 6 months later, we're going to nationals.
Wow.
You jumped in with both feet in there.
Heck
All
yeah.
right.
Yeah, we loved it, and we haven't stopped since.
Yeah.
He still races.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome.
He's about to turn 69.
Holy cow.
All right. Is
That's
he cruiser or class 2?
Both, but
Is
he's first in the state of Ohio in cruiser.
There you go.
Not that he has a ton of competition, but
Hey,
he's still fast.
Yeah, when you're the oldest guy, that's how it goes, man.
Do you spend any time still racing?
I did up until last summer.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. 2023 was the last year I raced a full season. I did the Ohio State Series, 41 to 45X.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Managed to scrape out a plate, a fourth place for the season. It wasn't pretty, but I got there.
There you go.
Hey, as long as you're having fun, no big deal, right?
You're going to see here his trails that he talks about.
Uh-huh.
So I can totally understand why there might not be much time left between working and family and building and then the series. So
Yeah.
Does the trail, let's start with the trail series. There's already questions popping in here.
Need to explain that. Eh?
Yeah.
So first, how did this idea come up for a trail series?
Well, I met this guy. Let me back up a little bit. So when I got back into racing, approximately like 3-4 years ago with my kids, they showed interest in riding. So we started racing, but me being the trail guy that I am, I just wanted to jump big dirt jumps. That's where my heart is. So I couldn't really find any spots. So I started building my own. And I went to a flat pedal race in Akron. And this guy kind of was rubbing elbows with me into like the third turn. And his handlebars got caught in my jersey, and we almost ate it. But managed to save it, and we're laughing about it across the finish line. And turns out he digs at these trails called the Sandlot in Norwalk. And his name's Alan Camp, and we became, the best of friends and ride all the time together, traveled the country riding trails together. And in 2023, we both had jams back to back at my house and his spot in Norwalk. And it was just so much fun. And we had a pretty good turnout for us being two like not well known spots in Ohio, and just word of mouth or whatever. We had really great turnouts, and it was just awesome time. So we're riding over the winter, the 23-24 winter at Ray's, and we're just bummed out because we're not riding our trails. It's not the same. So we kept talking about like, man, it'd be really nice to build trails indoors so we could ride dirt inside. But really, we just want that jam vibe again. And he's like, yeah, the jam vibe's where it's at. So I just started thinking about it. I'm like, man, if we could just find like one more spot, that'd be 3. And then we could maybe call it a series and like organize and have a couple of these things, because this is like the best time ever. This is all I want to do is have jams, because it's just a party in the woods with your friends on bikes.
Yeah.
So, he obviously agreed and like, this would be awesome, but we didn't really know who we were going to get in on it. But there's a spot in Apple Creek, Ohio, made by and owned by John Tullis, and they're definitely the most well-known trails in Ohio. They're very well established, been there for a long time, and they're epic. Brant Moore rides there and digs there, so they obviously have a pretty good group of guys, and whenever they have an event, they have a huge turnout. So finally got to meet John and kind of pitched to him this idea I had, and he was on board. So he jumped in on it, and then before we knew it, spots were coming out of the woodwork, and we had 8 for our first season. We ended up with 8 spots for last summer, and needless to say, it went way better than expected. By the end of the season, we were getting anywhere from like 125 to 200 people showing up at each event.
Oh, wow.
Most of those riders. And it was just awesome. People are talking about it all over the country. It's the first of its kind, like an event series where it's not a competition. It's just an excuse to go ride with your friends and launch yourself over big gnarly dirt jumps and laugh about it later. So that's one thing you will always hear from the jams. If you are coming in from the parking lot, you will hear laughter and cheering just roaring out of the woods, because that's how fun it is.
Wow.
So that's how it started, and it kind of just took on a life of its own. And now it's like this train that just keeps rolling, and we're here for it. It's awesome.
Wow.
I like it. To you, what's been the biggest, maybe not an upgrade, but like the biggest thing that changed for you, who's been involved in it since the ground zero, that has hit you like, wow, this is now like legit, this is a big thing?
That's a pretty easy question, because something happened just recently that kind of really put things into perspective. But I went down to the Rumble in Richmond, which is Steve Crandall's event that he does for Radshare, who happens to be one of our sponsors. And just to check it out, I've been hurt all winter long this winter. I had a really bad injury at Rays in November. So this is like my first real event and get out and ride since I've been back at it. And I went down there, and just walking around the track where they have that big gnarly jump, people were like, "Hey, are you that trail series guy, Travis?" And then stop and talk to random people who are already following the series, already know about it, already know who I am, which I never thought would happen. Some 43-year-old guy in Ohio building dirt jumps in his backyard. Right. Washed up, has been, if I ever was one, BMXer, So it was just really wild, like that. Wow, it's really taking steam. I'm going to Richmond, Virginia, and people know who I am. Yeah. So that was kind of cool. Not that I'm looking for like fame or anything like that. I just really love this series that we have, and I love riding in the woods with my friends, and apparently a lot of other people do too.
Yeah.
So
kind of a humbling,
we're making an impact. It's cool.
Yeah, it's kind of a humbling experience. Like, wow, you know who I am, or wow, that's holy cow. Right. Yeah.
Walk us through some of the like how you'd explained how this grew. How did you reach out and get, or if you did, or maybe they came to you? So I got the sponsors up on the screen. How do you end up with all these sponsors? That's like a thing people always are interested in knowing, whether it's racing or just trails or anything. How do you put this together?
Sure. Well, the first, I would say maybe batch of 5 or 6 sponsors were totally people that I ride with who are cooler than I am and know more people than I do, that hooked me up with our sponsors, our first few, for an example, my friend Jeff Jones is good friends with some of the guys over at Sparky Brands, Greg Lanthorn.
Mm-hmm.
And so he got me Sparky Brands, which is 4-in-1. You get
good point.
Shadow riding gear, Rant, and Sub Rosa. So that was one of our first. And then, I'm friends with the guys at Mike's Bike Park. So, of course, that was kind of an easy one for me. I have friends that own bike shops like Downtown Cycles in Newark, which is one of the last few true BMX bike shops in Ohio, anyway, who's owned by Jut Wood and Cody Clary, who both rode for DK and used to do their stunt tours at bike shops.
Okay.
So they of course sponsored me because they had to, because they're my friends. But once we got those, it kind of legitimatized us, and people started coming and reaching out to us. One of the coolest ones in the beginning that we got was Pump Tracks USA, because I had a buddy who was riding around Rays, and I think he may have been wearing, I'm not really sure if he was wearing a shirt yet, because I don't think we had shirts yet. But Jason from Pump Tracks approached him. He's like, "Hey, do you know those Trail Series guys? Because we'd really like to support them." And that's how Pump Tracks started. And they've been an awesome sponsor to have to us. And what a great company to have sponsor you, because they're going around the country building rad stuff for us all to ride. Yeah. So it's kind of fits into our mantra totally. But so once we got established, it was just easy after that. Meeting more people. Hey, you know what? Let me introduce you to him or whatever. And before you know it, here we are. We have all these sponsors, and we're really grateful. It's really awesome. And again, there's just this magic around the series where it really brings the community together. It's not just me. That's for damn sure. I couldn't do any of this by myself. It would just be me in my backyard still. But we had the trail bosses, and then that dedicate countless hours building this stuff, and then all these awesome sponsors that hear about us, see what we're doing, and they want to get in on it, because it's just really cool to do this positive thing for the community.
And if someone's interested in joining on as a sponsor, how do they go about that?
They can reach out to me directly through either Facebook, or they can email me at the ohiobmxtrailseries at gmail.com. We have a website where there's a contact link, and you could also just reach out to me through the instant message or direct message feature with Instagram on the Ohio Trail Series page. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. For those that don't know, what's a trail boss?
A trail boss is typically the main person who digs at a spot, started a spot, kind of, puts in the most time, might be the only person there ever that digs, might be doing it all by himself, which happens way more often than not. But when you're fortunate enough to have a group of guys, it's usually the main guy that's putting in the most time, and kind of unspoken situation where you just kind of falls into place like that. No, you don't take a vote who's going to be trail boss. It just kind of happens. It usually comes with a ridiculous amount of responsibility and work, and just grinding it out by yourself.
Sounds like a track operator.
Exactly. It is so similar to being a track operator. After watching my dad do it for 10 years and being there 4 or 5 nights a week, working on the track with them, it is pretty much the same damn thing.
Okay. I was just trying to relate it to.
That's a good one. I got a question. Are Texans allowed in the Ohio Trail Series? That's coming from Rob Sparkman.
Texas.
Rob Sparkman's an OG Trail Series guy who just happened to relocate, and he's always welcome. He's allowed to sleep at my house if he wants to come ride.
Very nice.
There we go.
But yeah, we welcome anybody from all over the country, of course. In fact, I have some guys coming from Kansas who are going to camp in my backyard for my jam in October.
Nice. Well, you've got Australia watching this show this evening. Matt Boshin's joining us. He probably can't swing making it, but he's tuned in watching. So that's pretty cool. Thanks for joining.
You wouldn't be disappointed if he could make it.
His kid would tear it up. His kid's he's a ripper. All right.
Might go international. You never know.
Yeah. If you guys got questions for Travis, pass them along in the chat wherever you guys are watching or listening. Just put it in there, and it will get to us, and we'll get them on. When you go to like the day of the event, like who is involved in running? Like, so you're going to different spots, which is up on the screen. I'll put it full screen so you guys get a good shot here in a second when you answer this. But who's the point of contact kind of person at each of these events? Like, who's running it the day of?
Good question. It's kind of like a two-part deal on Jam Day. We really give most ownership of the entire day to the Jam host because it's their spot, it's their day. They're the ones that put in the work. They're the ones that are opening up their spot for anybody to come and enjoy. So they're really running the show as far as making decisions and all that stuff. But since they've already done enough, myself and a core group of guys, like some of my best friends, really handle like the dealing with the waivers getting signed and dealing with the giveaway stuff and kind of helping out organizing we have kind of like fun competitions, if you will, during the day, which create opportunities for us to give these awesome donated items from our sponsors away and just to have fun. But we kind of handle all of that, me and about 3-4 other guys. And then, the host is kind of planning out the schedule of how that stuff all falls. And clearly, they have their own, I don't want to use the word rules because we're definitely not sticklers like that, but just like, hey, it'd be really cool if people did this and that.
Yeah.
This is how we want the day to go. And we just kind of run it by their wishes. But they're typically spending a lot of time watering the jumps because we get so many riders. Even if it rained the day before, there's so many tires on the ground that it dries up so quickly that there's a lot of maintenance that has to happen during an event just to keep things running smoothly. As I'm sure you guys are probably aware of, like a track race day.
Yeah, sure.
Especially on an old dirt track.
Yeah.
So when the riders show up, they need to register because you said there's waivers that need to be signed.
Yeah. It's like, I would say it's about 60-40 percentage where waivers are required. Like at my spot, which is at my house, I require people to sign a waiver or you're not riding, just to protect, myself and my home and all that good stuff. But there are spots that are public and that's not really a concern for them, but we still do the waivers because we always have a really awesome major giveaway. And it's a way for us to record who's there. So if you sign a waiver, you get a raffle ticket. It goes in a bucket. And at the end of the day, we draw tickets. And if we draw yours, you're going to win something awesome.
Okay.
So it's kind of a multi-use thing. So we have a registration table right in the front. You can't miss us. You'll be able to sign your waiver there, get your raffle ticket, buy a t-shirt, maybe buy 2 t-shirts or a hat. And check out some of our giveaway items and learn more about the series and what's up and coming.
Okay. So you have an idea how many riders you're drawing based on the waivers?
Yeah, we can go back and obviously count the signatures, but we also try to do like head counts during the day because there's a lot of people that come that don't ride too.
True.
Friends, family, and just people that are really into the sport and like to come and watch.
Okay. So about the ballpark, how many riders you getting?
Well, I can only really base it off of last season.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine.
I would say that we probably averaged around 100 and 110 people over the course of the series at each jam. But, some jams only drawing 50 and then some drawing 175.
Okay.
Damn, that's a good number.
That's a good draw. And then you have to assume there's at least one other person with the rider.
Sure. Typically, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, if you go by USA BMX, which would be totally different, it's 2.5 people per rider.
It's made up. Just stop.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Just because you saw it on the internet doesn't make it real.
No, I saw it on paperwork.
No.
We have been having a lot of younger riders show up to our jams as the season went on. So we would have parents there too.
Okay.
or
So,
significant others watching either their girlfriend or boyfriend
Yeah.
yeah.
risk it all over our dirt jumps.
Right on. That's cool.
What's
We have women riders too.
Oh yeah. That's
Oh
heck
yeah.
what would be one of the like your major kind of pain point that you have when you're hosting these events?
Could you explain your question?
Like what's one like a headache you deal with?
Oh, geez.
Maybe a road, not necessarily a roadblock, because you're having the events. Like what's one of the things that's just a tough part to work through or handle or coordinate or facilitate?
It's always weather is our
Okay.
biggest problem. Weather is because it's weather dependent,
Good
and
point. Good point.
it can totally shut us down. So pretty much all of us Trail Series organizers, which we have a group that's grown to around 15 to 20 guys that help out in some way, shape, or form with organization stuff. We're just stuck on the weather app.
Right.
Starting on, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and as it gets closer, sweating bullets. And this season in particular has been an absolute nightmare for us because we have, Red Bull is now coming to all of our events, and we have Corey Faust of Profile Racing. He rides for them. He drives the truck from Philadelphia to Ohio to let us enjoy their PA system, that truck right there. So we don't want to have Corey drive 9 hours from Philadelphia to cancel an event. And we don't want people to drive 3 hours from the far corner of the state to our event to have to cancel. So last season we got really lucky, and we had just great weather for 7 of the 8 jams. We had to reschedule 1 jam, but Mike's Bike Park was really nice enough to bring us, or I should say, open their doors to us, and still have a day of riding there at a discounted price. And that ended up just being a really awesome day where
Nice.
we packed the place with Trail Series riders. You could barely get a run in. There were so many people there, which was just awesome. And it ended up just being a killer day. But with all that being said, weather is just the worst, man, especially this season. I mean, not only is it a scheduling nightmare for us, and just a source of stress on jam week, it's also terrible if you're a trail boss. If you really follow my personal Instagram and go back into anywhere from we'll say the beginning of March until really the beginning of June, you're going to see a lot of videos of me pumping water for hours out of my trail spot. So I have this big trash pump, and I have to transfer pump, and I have to just pump thousands and thousands of gallons of water out of my trails to get them dry enough for me to go back to work on, let alone ride. So weather, it's horrible.
Solids.
Shoot. I thought I was going to be like Porta Johns or something like that.
Oh, that's the least of my worries.
Where's the trail series going? Like, what's your ultimate end goal with the trail series?
Well, that's another great question. Never really had an end goal.
Okay.
Never really had any expectations when we started it. It was legitimately like, let's create a really good excuse for us all to get together and ride in the woods. Hopefully we can find some other guys that feel the same, and maybe we can get 4, maybe 5 events together to where we have 5 solid days of summer where we know we're going to have an awesome time with like-minded people. But now that it has turned into what it has, I definitely see it expanding. It's going to definitely expand beyond Ohio. We're still trying to figure out what that's going to look like, but it's definitely going out of state. It'd be really great for it to go national one day, but the thing that's challenging for that is we just have something really, really special here in Ohio. And if we add a jam in, say, Georgia, then we got to lose the spot here in Ohio. And that's just something we're constantly thinking about. And maybe we would kind of expand in a way to where there's a national trail series organization and then a state level kind of like USA BMX, it definitely won't be so clean and polished, but something similar to that, to where we can kind of facilitate doing this fun stuff on a national scale, but not lose our magic here in Ohio. But I don't really want to go into details yet on a
Sure.
particular event we have working, but we will be going to Virginia. I'll say that next year for something really, really awesome.
All right.
Cool.
Old fat guy BMX on YouTube says, I went to Apple Creek last year and it was flipping great.
That's our next jam.
Yeah.
On July 19th.
And where's Apple Creek at, like, in regards to Ohio, like a landmark people would know?
It's actually in Apple Creek, Ohio, which is where it got its name. But it's the closest city, and it's pretty close by, is Wooster. Kind of give you a point of reference.
Okay.
But it's like in a rural suburb, I guess, if you will, of Wooster. And John Tullis bought that land from the elementary school. So it runs right along a river, and it's not the most marketable land, because what happens when it rains? The river floods, and it floods out that whole area where John has his trails. But he's got it dialed after years and years of digging there and having the proper drainage and all that stuff, to where he's usually in a really, really great shape. Like this spring, for example, it got so flooded that you couldn't even see his jumps. The river got so swollen over, it went past the trails, well deep into neighboring properties, and it just flooded everything. And then after that water receded, about 5 days later, he's back there digging again because it's all dried out.
Wow.
That's
gotta be a little rough.
Apple Creek is awesome. It is a must go to. So if you're interested in going to a jam with Ohio BMX Trail Series, Apple Creek's definitely top of the list.
Nice.
Wow.
I was trying to pull up some pictures here quick of it. These are a couple of them I found real quick on Google. Day of, like, when does the event normally start? Like, when's registration open? Kind of when does the jam kick off?
This season, we're starting every jam at noon.
Every jam at noon?
Every jam at noon. Again, it's pretty casual. A lot of people just kind of come and go throughout the entire day. So we do run them kind of long to facilitate that. We do sometimes shut down if, like, we for example, we had one where rain came at like 6 p.m. in the afternoon. Like, all right, we're calling it. Like, it's been a long day already, and it's raining. Sure, we might be able to ride afterwards, but we're done. But yeah, we start at noon for every jam, and if you show up a few minutes early, typically that's okay. We do ask people not to come more than like an hour early, because there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that's happening, prep for the day, because now that we're getting larger crowds, there's just stuff you got to get done to be able to manage that day. And that's the time that we're using to do it. So we're kind of calling most of the jams noon till dark. My jam is definitely an exception to that, because I have lights strung through the trees and I set my jumps on fire. So one of the big draws to my jam is the night riding. So I usually go about an hour after dark until the fires die out, and then I call it.
Okay. That's cool.
Are you cool if I pull that video up you sent me?
Oh yeah.
All right. I gotta shut off this one real quick, and I'm gonna grab that real fast. I gotta send it from. I gotta airdrop it from the phone to the computer we're on right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So he straight up, you're gonna dig this. Like,
okay.
He sent this to me the other night. I'm like, wait a minute. How long have you been in the works with, like, that whole night setup that you have at your trails?
It's 2 seasons now.
Okay.
This will be the third. This is the third season with the night setup. The first season was really, I set up lights, did a really poor job of it about a week before my jam, and like it got us by to where we got a couple laps, and set like just one jump on fire at the end of the line. So we had that one jump to get cool pictures on or whatever. But last season, since the trail series was happening, I felt like I needed to definitely step up my game. So I set an entire jump line on fire, and I got a lot more I don't want to say proper because I can still do better, but I got a lot better lighting setup so where it's not so sketchy. You know, it's still kind of hard to see. You got to let your eyes adjust. But yep, there it is. That was definitely one of the most fun nights of my entire life.
I didn't know if there was music in the background or anything, so I did mute it for that.
Yeah, there probably is that or questionable language.
This is this is really cool.
That is rad, man.
Yeah, that's what an idea. Like the string lights like through there. That's
Yeah.
That exact clip popped up on RBMX during one of their podcasts. Like they just found it. They saw it, stumbled across it on the internet or on Instagram or whatever, and they shared it. So that was a pretty cool moment too.
Yeah. Shoot.
That's
that is wild, man.
Yeah, that's right there is worth the trip, man.
Yeah.
Let me get out of there.
Go check that out.
And that's at your trails in
Sunbury, yeah, and we call it Shredwood.
Yeah.
Shredwood.
That's so I was at some trails Sunday in Ann Arbor up here in Michigan, and there were people there talking about your trails and how excited they are to get down there and ride. So word travels fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So you got like a whole pit area where people can set up their pop-up tents and have their own little space.
I can accommodate all of that. Typically, pop-ups aren't really needed because I have such great tree coverage. I basically have a old growth forest in my backyard. I have about 7 acres.
Oh,
So
wow.
like the drop into my jump lines is like right at the edge of the tree line. So it's like half in my yard, half in the woods. So I can actually see it from my kitchen window when I'm doing dishes. But once you drop in, you disappear into the wilderness. And it's pretty thick old growth forest. So you have tons of shade. Heat's never an issue here because you're not in the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And when it's raining, it could be raining in my backyard and we're still riding out back in the woods because the tree coverage is protecting it to a certain extent, of course.
Yeah.
You know, if it's hard enough, it's over. But
yeah, it's amazing how much, you know, the trees and the leaves and that do catch the rain. Yeah. Yeah. We had a little trail thing in our backyard when we were kids, and you could be raining, you could ride it still.
Did you light the jumps on fire like Travis?
No, we weren't that cool.
Of
That's just beyond, man. That's cool as heck.
What's been one of the like for you that we talked about that aha moment you had, right, where somebody recognized you way out of state, but with the series itself, what's been a very like a personal rewarding moment with the series that, you know, not necessarily like I got recognized, but like the whole series itself?
Oh, that's super easy. The easiest question you've asked me so far, and that is, it happens to me over and over again at every jam, and it's once the event's rolling, you look around and you see everybody there smiling, just ear to ear. Everyone is just so pumped and stoked to be there, to be doing what they're doing, and laughter and people cheering each other on. It's just really wild how supportive this group of people that come together are for these events. Like and they're from all over, different walks of life, different states. Had a guy from Hawaii at the last jam in Marietta, Ohio.
Nice.
And just to see everyone having such a great time, and then hearing the feedback throughout the day, like, thanks for doing this, and like, thanks for coming, because we don't really, especially in the beginning, didn't really feel like we were doing anything. We're just trying to get people to ride with us, you know, like, and trying to find new spots to ride. Was really kind of how it started, and it's just that's the reward right there.
Nice.
Just watching everyone have so much fun.
Okay. So with the jam, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions here that just because I don't know. Is there an entry fee?
Oh, no. All of our events are free.
Free. Okay.
That's a good question.
Well,
yeah.
That is a great question. I can't believe I didn't think this.
I didn't even, me either. I just assumed that that's probably like $5 or 10 or something. Like, all right, free.
No, we pride ourselves on that. Our events are absolutely free. And that's what really makes it cool for these other guys that are involved with the series who have their own spots where they own the land and they've worked for years in some cases on their spots. And they're saying, hey, everybody, it's on me. Come ride.
That is
Yeah,
really cool.
we really like that it's free. We do have things to buy or ways to support us for us to generate some income, which helps us put this whole thing together because it does cost money,
Sure.
especially for some of the cool stuff we have going on this season to get back. But yeah, so you can buy a shirt, you can buy raffle tickets for various items.
Okay.
Which this season we have a lot of cool stuff in that department.
Okay. That's sweet. So the t-shirts that you buy at the event, do you have an online?
Typically, I do not have an online store yet.
Okay.
That is definitely in the works because of how popular that is, basically. So how it works right now is if you're not going to make it to a jam, you're out of state, and you want one of our shirts or a hat or something, just send me a message through Facebook or through Instagram. And again, you can just reach out directly through the Ohio BMX Trail Series Instagram account to direct message, and that's me. And I can work that out with you. So I just shipped probably 5 packages this week so far with shirts and hats.
Okay.
That
So
people have bought from out of state or far away or whatever. They might be coming to a jam. They just don't want to wait.
okay. So all you guys and gals out there listening or watching, you want to help support this whole series, this trail jam, the Ohio BMX Trail Jam. Just get a hold of them through the Instagram and get a hold of Travis, and he'll work something out with you on getting t-shirts and hats to you. That's awesome.
Was that all of them?
Oh,
You had your questions.
yeah.
Well, you said you had 3. I don't want to jump in.
A couple.
Go fire.
No, I'm good. I did. What was the other one? I just saw something here. No. Yeah. Okay. I didn't know if we were going to transition into that, but okay.
I've been dying to know.
Okay. All right. Here we go. New question. Justin's been dying to know. What do you do for a day job?
Oh, I'm a commercial construction superintendent.
All right.
Yeah, so build like retail stores, stuff like that.
Okay. So you're in the construction business.
Yep. I newly into the commercial game. I'd been in residential for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
flipped houses. I was an interior trim carpenter, finished carpenter for many years. But I'm getting older and I want to save that energy for my bike. So I was trying to get to more of a management level position so I'm not busting my hump as hard all day long to save a little bit of juice for when I get home to ride my trails.
There you go. That's not a bad idea. Shoot.
Guys up as early as we are, man.
Oh, yeah. I wake up early because our jobs typically open up at 5. And I have some travel time because I live in the country. So I get up early.
Okay. So you got to commute.
Yeah. So I'm like up at 3 a.m. or 3:30, depending what's going on.
Oh, okay. That's earlier than we get up.
Yeah. It was like,
Yeah.
He's got us beat.
It took a while to get used to that.
Oh, I bet. I bet. This is not that you got to go to bed early too then.
Well, that would be the healthy way of doing things.
Right. Oh, shoot. Do we want to chat?
Yeah, we're gonna jump in and do a quick chat check-in. Travis, there's it looks like a lot of your people in there and some of our regulars here. And just want to give some people a quick shout out. Again, if you guys got anything you want to add, you got a story you want to share or a question, just toss them in wherever you're watching in the chat there or the comment section. And we want to say thanks to Rob Sparkman for joining us. Isaac Irvine, he's been on the show. Big Bike BMX, man, thanks for hanging out with us. Angela Schindler, thanks for hanging out this evening. Our friend over at Dye Job Apparel, Sean Gifford. What do you say? Are we supposed to be watching from here or go to the website? Nope, just watch here. That'll work, Todd. That was Todd. You got
Latif?
Yeah, thanks.
What?
Let him announce it. Beer Budget BMX, they're joining us, and I got one of their shirts this evening on.
Oh, the new one.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Yeah. We support each other there.
Heck yeah, we do.
Speaking of Beer Budge BMX, the Thunder Midgets himself is watching on a few channels. He's over on YouTube joining us this evening. Rob Cardoza, the man, the myth, the legend, the BMX guy that was in the movie E.T.'s watching this evening with us. Rob Sparkman again there. And Zach Jans is in here with us. Like I said, Matt Boshin joined us from Australia, who joins us on his lunch break and checks out the show. Mo Collins, who is the other half of Rocks Photography there, BMX Rocks Photography. They're Ohio folks, too.
Yeah.
I've got some pictures that they took of us, my family and I.
Yeah.
They just did you see this? Photo day at Toledo?
Yes, I did.
So it's like school photo day, but with BMX up at the Toledo BMX track. And it was a really good turnout.
It was a cool deal.
Yeah.
I saw some of those pictures. They were sweet. Yeah.
Another person you mentioned, Brant Moore, joining us.
Hey, Brant.
What's up, Brant?
Yep.
We got to get him back on soon.
We do. We got to get our catch up. What's going on in the world of freestyle?
That's right.
Got to get Brant on here, break it all down for us.
Right on.
Ken Kellogg, thanks for joining. Rob said Travis hasn't aged in 20 years. Take your word, my friend. BMX does that. Keeps you young.
Keeps you.
Riley Baumgartner joining us. August Matzer, thanks for hanging out with us. Luke DeQuintless is in there hanging out with us. We talked about old fat guy BMX hanging out with us too. I just want to. August is making a bold statement that some people wear spandex.
Yeah.
What?
That's kind of an inside joke, man.
At the trails?
Hey.
It hasn't happened yet, but we keep waiting for August to deliver on that promise.
Ooh.
All
right.
Oh, now you're calling him
August,
out.
you got to get one of them like onesies like they wear in the Tour de France, man.
Oh, yeah, I know. You're talking about look kind of like the short overall looking thing.
Them bitches are tight.
No.
They're snug, buddy. You been watching any of that at all?
No. Actually, I just saw a commercial for it last night. I went, oh, man, Tour de France.
A lot of dudes in spandex.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Fast, too.
Cyclists.
Crazy.
A couple good crashes already. Caleb Graves says Travis is the man.
Oh, man.
No doubt about
He's
that.
getting a shot out later.
Rick Carter says, just be careful. Nobody thought USA BMX would get into freestyle, so watch out what you're letting out.
Watch out what you're letting.
They might come steal it from you. Holly Dunn joining us.
I see what he's saying. Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, Holly. Holly, hit up the Thunder Midget. He'll get you one of the shirts. Crispy Craig, he's yelling out, let's go.
Myers.
Scott Lachansky, hey, buddy. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Man, we got quite the
Todd says, Rob Sparkman, you were an ET. Different Rob. Rob Cardoza.
Yeah.
Angela says, shots fired. And then, August, DB Sports World, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. August says, I'll wear my XS Santa Silent Disco shirt.
Can't wait.
Buddy, which event is that going
extra
on?
small.
Can we get this one maybe to coordinate on that event happening on the 26th? I'd roll down to see this maybe.
All right, August. That's it. The Sandlot. Bring it.
There we go. Eli says, I don't want to see August in a one piece. I like it. I can already tell the vibes that these are going to be awesome. Ryan Hogan.
Yeah, this is what you should expect.
Yeah, Ryan Hogan says, yo. We appreciate you guys for joining it. Hey, and if you got questions, get them in there.
Or comments even.
Yeah, just keep the talking going. Let's talk about August wearing a onesie.
Just make sure you like and subscribe to all our stuff. That's the only thing
the Ohio Trail Series. Get over and follow them on Instagram. Your guys' website's super easy to navigate through. Nice job on that. You guys also have the group over on Facebook too. That easy to follow. Like there's a lot of activity in there too. Since I jumped in there back when we first started talking, and I see a lot of activity in there by pretty much everybody's in there.
Yeah, I joined it a few days ago.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Do you get to compete in the series at all with everything, all the hats you're wearing?
Yeah, I mean, I always get laps at every event. Because again, that's what it's all about. And since we have grown and we have a pretty good group of core guys, like if I want to walk away from the table, someone's always going to be at the table at all times because there's quite a few of us now, to kind of man selling the shirts or whatever, or helping people sign a waiver, or get their raffle ticket signed, or just answer questions or be there. So yeah, I definitely ride at every event when I'm not hurt. Um, and
Yeah.
we all pretty much do. And I think that the registration table, if we'll call it that, or really the Trail Series canopy, I think would be a better description of it. It kind of winds down as the day goes on. So like once we get through all of our events and all the giveaway items are given, we kind of shut that down so we can all just ride and enjoy the day.
That's awesome.
So we got a jam going on. Do you guys have, like, I noticed I was scrolling here and I saw a high jump contest.
Exactly.
Are there other, I guess, are they contests, or is this just part of the jam format? What's that?
Well, I mean, we definitely call them contests.
Okay.
So like that would be a high jump contest. We have a best trick contest. Depending on what trails they are, there's different competitions. So like we definitely leave that up to the trail bosses. It's kind of an unanswered topic I could have touched base on earlier with your question. But that's definitely up to the trail boss. What events do you want to hold? What competitions do you want to hold? Like John at Apple Creek has a really cool stamina competition, and that's last man standing, because he has a line where you can just do it over and over again, like a circle track almost.
Okay. Kind of like a pump track.
So in last year, it went on forever. And, there's like three guys that just wouldn't give up there towards the end, and it went on painfully long, where you're like, I don't know how they're still doing it, because they're jumping, and doing tricks through many jumps on this circle. So it's really up to the trail boss, but you can pretty much always count on best trick and high jump.
This sounds so fun, right? Like how it's not the same, but it's the same. Good vibes, but then we can switch it up based on the trail boss and at the set of trails you're at. Do you guys really?
What kind of trails they are?
Yeah, right. Do you guys really do foot down at Apple Creek? Todd just said you guys are.
Yeah, foot down.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Trail version.
Oh, what's trail?
It gets rowdy. Just telling you right now, like it's fun, but it gets rowdy.
Dude, you don't got carbon fiber frames, so you can beat the crap out of each other.
4130.
There you go.
No, man.
No one's worried about, carbon getting scratched.
You know who does really good at foot down? This dude right here.
It's just big guy. Big guy. Good center of balance.
He takes out little kids.
We even had a foot race at one event last season. It came down to squash a beef between two Trail Series regulars. It came down to a foot race.
See, that's what I'm talking. I think we had one of them foot down things that came down to the rock paper scissor game at one of the. I think it was Richfield. We were at.
Really?
We were like, we don't know. Austin says you guys do joust. Is he kidding? Because, dude,
what is it?
Jousting.
Jousting?
That is not something that has happened, but that's something that is going to happen.
What?
Oh, all right.
Tell me how.
At a future
all I'm
event,
picturing right now is like
those pig.
Fun. It's just fun.
Oh man, jousting.
Oh,
what the hell is
that?
The Renaissance Festival? Like something like that.
Yeah, they do that. Typically, it's done on horses.
Dude, if August gets in there in a onesie and does some jousting, like he's just going to shut the whole series down right there.
I tell you, August would be a formidable opponent in that in that event.
Ryan Hogan says the foot race was rigged. I'm interested, Ryan, to kind of know how we rigged a foot race.
That's just what a loser would say.
Shots. Mic drop, ladies and gentlemen.
Boom.
No, Ryan's one of my favorite people. He's actually my right-hand man here at Shredwood.
Yeah. Nice. So you were saying earlier you got some stuff you guys raffle off. What's some of the big prizes you guys got for this year?
And one of our sponsors, Huffy, donates an e-bike every year.
Holy sh!
Nice.
What?
Yeah, so I have this really kick-ass e-bike in my garage right now, still in the box, but I usually build it before I bring it out to whichever jam we're raffling it off at. Last season, we did it to where it was at the final, we gave it away. We finally drew the name, but you could get a ticket to enter to win at every jam. So if you came to 8 jams, you got 8 chances to win.
I like it.
And
there we go.
they were free. You just get one for showing up. And then we gave it away at our final last season, which was the Sandlot. And one of the trail bosses of one of the events actually won, Jeff Irwin, and at the jump farm. And he uses that bad boy to groom his jumps and pack them in. And it's actually really great for that, which I found to be interesting. But it's a really cool e-bike. This season, we have the e-bike. We have, I need to back up because I forgot something super cool from last season that is continued this season. And that's my man, Wes Huddleston. If you are into collecting BMX bikes and go to BMX shows, you'll know who Wes is. But he's a big time mid-school collector, has a lot of really, really awesome bikes from the 90s. He donated a standard Trail Boss complete, a 98, fully decked out, period correct, for us to give away. Whoa. So we sold raffle tickets for that bike all season long, $5 a ticket. And then he kind of took it up a notch at the Coasters Jam, which was the one that got rained out and actually got rescheduled after our final jam. He brought a second standard complete, an STA from the 90s, which was just the coolest bike ever. And he gave away 2 just because he thinks it's so rad what we're doing. And that was a really cool moment to not only give away this awesome Trail Boss that everyone's been drooling over all season long, but then bring in a second bike that's equally as awesome, if not cooler, and also give it away as a surprise out of the middle of nowhere. So there's 2 very lucky people that walked away with just killer collector pieces that you can very much ride right now.
Is this one of them right here? This
that's the Trail Boss.
Okay, all right, yeah, dude. He's got the seat like that's straight up. He got the Holy Roller tires.
DK. So this season, he's kind of stepping it up a notch, and he's in the process of building.
Okay.
It just got powder coated a DK Legacy, and it's going to be a DK trail frame or trail bike. He's going to build it up with as many Ohio parts as possible. It's going to be an Ohio trail bike. And it's going to look really, really sharp because it's going to have a brand new powder coat job and OG sticker set that he's putting on the frame once it's back from powder. And if you saw this guy's collection, you know the parts are going to be awesome.
That's cool.
So we're really excited about that. And he's not affiliated with a sponsor. This is a guy in Indiana who loves trails, loves what we're doing, has become a dear friend, who just wants to get involved because it's that rad.
Right.
That's how it should be.
Yeah.
Right.
That's 100% how it should be.
Yeah. That's cool. And so people that aren't familiar, Huffy and DK are both bike manufacturers that are headquartered in Ohio.
Correct. That's a good point to bring up.
Yeah.
So they're Ohio companies, and they both provide us with so much support. And we're just really grateful for that and thrilled to be partnered with other Ohio companies making this awesome. Yeah. We do have more sponsors that are based out of Ohio or spend a hell of a lot of time in Ohio at BMX events and are very much part of our scene, regardless of whether they're based out of Ohio or not. And they gave us a lot of cool stuff to give away this season. We have 5 free day passes to give away for each jam. So that's 45 day passes that we get to give away. If you know how much it costs to ride at Rays for a day, you do the math. That's a pretty generous donation for us.
Sure.
And then they also gave us a season pass to raffle off. a frame that anybody can swap their stuff over to basically and ride. So if a street rider happens to win it, he can totally ride that bike on a daily basis.
That's
instead of having like a purpose-built trail-only bike.
See, that is cool. There's only 9 of them, and they're all different colors.
All different colors,
Specific.
and I mean, the most popular top tube length was, just taking the average among us trail bosses was 21.25, but we do have some 21.5s and some 21s, but it didn't veer off of that too much.
Wow. Okay.
We're pretty proud of that.
And who's making this?
So grateful for John Quartz of John Quartz Metalworks.
That's what I was looking
on
for.
His life to make these for us. And not only did he make them for us, it's just such a fantastic job. If you get one of these frames, it could be the last frame you ever need. If you got another one, it's because you want one, not because you need one.
Okay. So go check him out too. Give him a little love.
Yeah, I was trying to.
Another Ohio native, by the way. He's from Elyria, Ohio.
Okay.
I like how it's all tied in here.
Oh yeah, it's such a cool thing. He lives in New York now, but he actually drove from New York to meet me in Elyria to do the frame handoff, which is really awesome.
Wow.
I got his personal page. I'm trying to find his Metalworks one to get it up here so we can. I can share the link.
J Quartz.
I think it's J Quartz. Wait, I think it just popped up. There he is. Metalworks. Got it. Thanks. I want to copy this.
There it is.
Here we go. Yeah, that would be good. Give him a little love. Yeah.
Oh, are those the frames right there, set in raw?
Those are probably somebody else's frames.
Oh,
we do have some sneak peeks of ours on there somewhere, but he also makes his own frames with the brand Work, it's called. So he has a couple, like stock, if you will, like standard issue frames for Parker trails that are available to purchase through him directly.
Nice.
Those are cool.
And he does custom stuff too, like custom one-offs. He also makes frames for another Ohio company called Tech Bike Co., which is owned,
I've heard them.
at least partly by Dustin Reese, who lives in Lancaster, Ohio, which is another cool tie into Ohio.
Yeah. No, this is definitely the Ohio show.
We have a really good scene here.
Yeah. Well, man, you guys got even on the racing side, this strong state series there. Great tracks. I mean, you got the
Toledo's awesome.
I
mean, we start naming
Akron,
them, get in trouble.
Cobra. I mean,
Marysville,
Westerville, all of them. Marysville.
Marysville is fun.
But you also have Stoke Run, Ray's, Mike's. Dude, I mean, for us, Stoke Run for me, that's like 3 hours. And when it was, oh my God, I'm going to blank on Ohio Dreams. Like it was a quick hang out for the day and back. So it's, that was a lot of fun. We're working on getting them guys rescheduled to be on. Talk to them guys now because I've seen like a lot of things happening there, and they're one of the builders there. Used to build tracks back in the day for BMX too. So there's a great scene there, and like all the stand trails that you guys got that you've talked about. Now you have a series going on, which we talked briefly about this. That doesn't happen. That's like everybody I've come across when I was talking to Chuck Nagy about that, who's part of the series with you guys. Like nobody's done that. Nobody's doing this, and especially like at a local grassroots state level, it doesn't happen. Even over the course of, I think maybe if you go 20 years, maybe 25 years, you might have the Dew Tour, some one-offs popping around, but like you guys have done a lot of great work with this, and
those are still very much competition based though. So we're definitely the first.
That's the other part, yeah.
What I think the coolest, just a quick little side note on that subject, the coolest part about that is that if you were a trail rider in the 90s, you would know like it's was kind of always hush hush and under the radar, and you had to know somebody to ride that spot, and that you're not riding unless you dig. So you have to spend a few days there building something before you're allowed to put tires on it. and you had to know 3 different people to get that far. So because spots would get blown up and then get torn down by the city because they were typically built somewhere where they didn't have permission to build them, like behind a Kroger or a Kmart or a Walmart or something in the woods. So it was always a privilege to ride someone's trails, and usually had to put in some work to get that opportunity. So what's unique about the trail series is like that vibe's still very much alive in most places in the country, but not in Ohio. In Ohio, we want to inspire people to build more trails. And there's a lot of people that are just intimidated, like they've never jumped a big gap double like that before, or they just don't know what it's like to go to someone's personal space like that and ride, or they might just be nervous to. So this gives them an opportunity for a public event to come in, experience what trails are, and not have to feel bad about like encroaching on someone's spot and have to deal with like that weirdness where it's just like, no, we want you to come ride with us today. This is trails, which would be completely unheard of in the 90s. People would call me crazy if I would have came up with this idea then.
That's a great fact. Yeah, the couple people popping in. Strange Blocks 57. Shout out to Travis from Ethan. All I'll say is thank you, sir. And then Bobby B's jumping in here. Also, make sure I got it was CB the Bird. Hey, thanks for letting me know. There's the sound checked out for a second. I had to resync it with YouTube, so I apologize for you guys that lost sound for a second, but I was able to get it back up and going. And he said the BMX industry needs to bring back 13-inch chain stays and separate seat post clamps.
I agree with that.
Yeah, won't argue.
If you notice, our frames do not have integrated seat post clamps for a reason.
Yeah. Well, you know who else is from Ohio? I don't know how I'm going to tie this in the trivia, but I'll get there. Gate 9 number plates.
Oh, yeah.
You got the best number plate company in the game coming out of Ohio, right out of Akron.
Custom.
I have a few of those.
Yeah. I think if you pretty much race now, you know who Gate 9 is.
You should.
Yeah.
Because you should have a Gate 9 number plate.
It's not just because they sponsor us.
No. That would be
Billy and Jen are good people.
They are the go-to number plate company.
Yes.
And he can do anything you want.
You know, if you want to go to the Trail Jam, you can run a number plate. It's cool.
Yeah.
I always wanted to do a side plate with the Trail Series graphic on it.
There you go.
Billy.
The lower, it would be your lower. Do that with. I don't know who did that.
Top and down tube with the Trail Series shovel on it. I thought that'd be cool to maybe have them make us some of those to give away or sell or whatever.
To go on the rear triangle.
Front triangle.
Front, like our side, like our
side,
plate. Like our side plate. Okay.
Yeah, the side plate.
Yeah.
I may have forgot what it was called because, I've been away from racing for a year now, and I'm just so obsessed and completely focused 100% on the Trail Series all the time. I might stumble when I'm talking about racing.
That's all right. That's why we appreciate you taking time and joining us to teach us more about the Trail Series.
Right. But I'm sure Gate 9 can take care of you on that.
Yeah, dude, I'll get you in contact with Billy. He does some actual like fancy number plates for us for the flat pedal series we do. So each stop has like its own design. Then we give no, we don't.
Okay.
Well,
because we gave them away.
Yeah, I got one I think somewhere. Then I made it on a podium at one of them. I got one. Anyway, they're super cool. They're neat and they're easy. Like not big, huge, like a trophy, easy to hang up and keep.
Yeah.
Wes Huddleston says chain stay plates. He's digging that shit right there, Chris.
That
was
a
goddamn.
There's my guy Wes.
Is that like
he's the man with the three standards.
Is he?
Yeah, that's the 80s. That's the 80s deal. The rear triangle.
Wes,
plates.
if you come across an Auburn, hit me up, dude. I'm looking for Auburn CR20. That isn't going to break me.
Oh, Wes is the guy to get you an Auburn.
Oh, dude, that's the goat bike for me. Like
I'll
take the purple or the green. It don't matter. And those that know what I'm talking about right now.
You should see the bike he's building right now.
Bro, we gotta get purple.
I was shopping for tools on an auction website, and in this big pile of tools. Lot after lot of tools, BMX frame, and there's this rusty random BMX frame in the middle of all these shop tools. And I'm like, hun, they were selling it and there were 0 bids. So I bid $1 on it. I won this frame. And then, of course, I get it and it has all these signs of being really cool, but I don't know what I'm looking at. So I give it to Wes, and it turns out it was a custom made E&W bikes frame, which was out of Ohio. They were really big in the 80s and 90s. And of course, with Wes's skills for building a mid-school bike, it's turning out really, really awesome. You'll be seeing pictures at some point on Ohio Trail Series pages because it's an Ohio bike.
Right.
And it
All right.
turned out really sweet.
All right, we'll be looking for that. We want to see it.
All right. You got a good trivia?
I think so.
Okay.
All right.
We're nervous when we do this. Melissa normally handles this for us.
We usually screw this up.
Oh, yeah.
Or I screw this up. I shouldn't say we. I say I.
So it's Melissa's trivia question this week, brought to you by the good people at Krupp & Carter. They are your BMX apparel brand. Make sure you check them out. They're coming out of that state of Florida. There's always something exciting happening in Florida. I don't know about you, dude. I'm looking forward to the Bangin' Bars series in December because we're going to go down there for that.
Are you going?
Yeah, Melissa got the
Tickets?
Yeah, that and where we're going to stay, the Airbnb.
Oh, cool.
So we'll be down there. We'll be down there in December for that, and we'll see the guys over from Krupp & Carter. Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Wes says, I can get you in Auburn, but it's definitely going to break you. I'm like, I feel like it's.
How about get him a number and we'll figure it
out. Dude, there's no such thing as that. Like that, you can't go. I'd like an inexpensive. Nope. I'd like a cheap. Nope.
That's true.
I don't think they made that many probably back in the day. I wouldn't know, but man, when they were, oh, dude.
I guess the question is, if you were to get one, is it a wall hanger or are you going to run it?
It'd be a carpet queen, dude.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
It'd hang up right behind us because I'd want the Pro Forks and the spin mags on it.
Oh, spin mags.
I didn't even ride when that was out. I just remember the pictures of it because I got into it years after that, and I'm like, who puts suspension forks on BMX? And then I found out, like, there's always a gimmick in BMX racing. Somebody's
there's
doing
always
it.
something. Yeah.
All right, it's going to be a good one. We've got our prize pack this evening. Chris will model it, and I'll let you guys know what we got. We're going to start off with our friends over at Motor City Harley Davidson, bringing in the foam football. Which, if you don't get the trivia, don't worry. You can go to the flat pedal race at Ridgefield Park June 21st, and we're going to have a whole bunch of these that we're going to just be chucking them to people.
Zipping them things.
And we also have the beer koozie from Motor City Harley Davidson, the keychain from Motor City Harley Davidson. You got an air gauge. They hook us up, chip clips, you name it.
There we go. Chip clip.
And then most importantly, you got your sticker swag here.
With some cool stuff.
You freestyle kids say we're shilling right here, okay?
Yeah. There's
you got some ATV swag in there, some Syndicate stuff, Motor City Harley. There's stickers, there's magnets, there's pins.
There's an ATV pin in here, the old 80s, the little circle pins. We got one of those in there.
And then from our friends at Krupp & Carter, who sponsor this segment. So that's, speaking of spin mags, that's funny. There's right there. This is the BMX Plus T-shirt. So it looks like the cover of a BMX Plus. This has got the Haro monocoque frame on it with the spin mags. And then they kind of spice it up from there. And this will all come in. You also have the sticker that kind of goes along with it and the keychain from them. This also comes in a very nice take-home bag from Motor City Harley Davidson.
There we go. So
we've done this a few times. All right. And we'll mail this out to you if you somebody we don't see. We'll get it mailed to you. All you got to do is just message the show Facebook page or myself or Melissa. You just send us the address.
Once we get a winner.
I'm interested to see what you got. I saw you over there feverishly writing a few.
Yeah. All right. So here's
$5,000.
What?
What?
For what?
That bike.
Oh, I thought they were offering that for the prize pack. Huh?
Yeah. Hey, Wes, how about we work a trade out for this prize pack and that 5K Auburn?
Hey, you know what? 2 prize packs for that Auburn. We'll step it up a little bit.
Get some Gate 9 number plates I can throw into. All right, what do we got?
All right. So here's the question. So Travis said at the very beginning where he raced BMX for the very first time. The name
Are
of the
those
track.
sunglasses supposed to go in the trivia case too?
Oh, there's not these ones.
Okay.
These are we have other
I'm just
ones.
checking. All right.
They disappeared.
No, those are your
We'll throw these in.
Shit. You can see the Mars in them bad boys.
Yeah. There's a pair just like these in the kit, but you're not getting these ones. Nobody wants to wear those after I wear them. So, all right. So, name of the first track Travis raced at when he first started BMX. That's what we're looking for.
The first track he raced at.
Yep.
There's a few guys that have an advantage on this one.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
They could have came in late and know the answer.
that's all right.
That's all right.
Yeah.
So
It's all good.
I'll give one answer that it's definitely not Waterford Oaks, Chris.
No, it's not.
That's your home track.
I know that. It's like we always work that in somewhere along the way.
You definitely do. It is not Tom Brady Raceway. I think I know who's put that one in there.
No, Dave.
While we're waiting
not
for a
Tom
winner on Travis's first BMX track that he raced at,
gosh.
we did. We had some people shout out from the trails that some of their locations that we forgot to plug here real quick is. Funny one. Where I got to find that one real fast here. Like one of the first ones that popped up. Yeah, right there. Westland Lanes Trails in West Toledo, long gone. Like the first set of trails named, ironically, out of Ohio. I want Brant. I want to know what Brant's favorite trails are.
Oh, yeah.
That dude's at all of them.
Oh, he's all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, Brant. Throw it in there if you're still watching.
Literally just all of them. And
Yeah, you'll probably see.
yeah.
Ohio.
I know the answer.
His favorite trails?
Oh, it's probably Travis's house.
Better be your.
Apple Creek. Those are his home trails.
They still.
And they're sick. So him and John.
I see a lot of content from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really impressive in person when you see it for
Is
the
it?
first time, because their main jump line has two offshoots called lefty and big righty, but it's just jumps for as far as you can see, and they're big, huge monster jumps. They're not just little doubles; they're big, like big boy jumps. And then they have a whole nother section in the back called uphill and downhill, which is more, I mean, they're still really proper jumps, but I would say they're more intermediate level. So a little more friendly to a newer rider than Big Righty. With a name like that, you pretty much know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah. Something I meant to ask earlier. All the trail locations you guys have your jams at, are there jumps for like pretty much anybody to ride?
There are.
Nice.
I'm glad you asked that. Every single spot has rollable jumps. So for the very newest beginner, just getting into it, to your big scary jumps for the more experienced riders to ride.
Okay.
So anyone can have fun, no matter what skill level you're at, and we. Really pride ourselves on that a new rider can come in at the beginning of the season and be rolling over tabletops, and then you see them by the final and they're jumping the big section with you, because there's progressive jumps at each spot, and everyone's progressively getting better from the beginning to the end of the season, and you have this gigantic support group cheering you on the whole time.
Great. So you can go from rollover to full send.
I think that's a huge advantage.
I've seen it with my own two eyes.
All right.
That's
awesome. That would be me in the rollover.
Yeah,
the
but see,
rollies.
like
That's
because that's there, like I think like that's definitely like a big draw. Like, yeah, there's going to be something there I can ride.
right. No, that is cool.
Yeah. I will say there are spots that have, more in either direction. So like you go to a spot like the Jump Farm, where Jeff has this awesome spot where he has just tons and tons of jumps that he's built. But there'd be more stuff there that a newer rider could ride without feeling intimidated. But then you go to like Coasters, where they have a really awesome whole section of the trail spot. I think they have the most jumps out of any other spot in the series, by the way, and they've been around for over 50 years.
What?
Yeah, Coasters in Middletown, Ohio. I used to ride there when I was 12,
Wow.
which was 31 years ago. Where was I getting at? But they also have just like these big gnarly, like what you see in props videos and on S&M videos today, like proper big jumps that you will be nervous dropping into.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. I mean, probably stick to that smaller stuff.
Yeah, I'll stick to the BMX.
DB
trail.
Sports World loves the name, the Jump Farm. I like that one. Yeah, August, he said that Spunk progressed at Gunlock.
Oh, he did.
Yep.
That's Ryan Hogan from earlier. But yeah, he had a big progression day at Gunlock. And if you go to the Facebook page or Facebook group, you'll find that clip there. And when you hear what everyone around Ryan, which we all call him Spunky, when Spunky makes it through that jump line, you'll hear what the Trail Series is all about, because it's just a roar of yeah, and like cheering for him because we all willed him through those jumps. It was a really good moment, and we have those moments at nearly every jam. It's really awesome.
Wes says that it's the only trail series that if you don't know how to ride trails, you will by the end of the series. It's like a giant family, and everybody pushes you to get better no matter what level you're at. That's
he said.
Like that vibe that you guys are speaking of. That's like those, and like when you were younger, you probably remember this, like those tracks you went to that were that way. They always stuck out, and you remembered them. Like they have that vibe, and you remember those tracks because of that. And that's man, that's awesome to have that right there.
It's special.
Yeah,
it doesn't happen often, but we've opened this box, and it's just been awesome.
It's cool.
Crispy Craig says coasters. We got jumps for all skill levels. Like this right here, just advertising it, like you said.
Yeah.
I can remember.
Well, he's the trail boss of coasters.
I know, like,
and he's right. They have something for everybody there. It's such an awesome spot.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's really nostalgic for a lot of us older riders who used to ride there as kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember walking back into the woods for the first time as an adult last spring, and Crispy was out there, Chris Myers, to welcome me to his spot, and it was just jaw dropping because it's just how I remembered it, but 30 years later.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And he's been painstakingly rebuilding everything back to its former glory. I mean, they've always been there, and there's always been something rideable, but he's bringing back, with the help of many other guys like Randy Stamper, bringing back the old lines that have been long lost to weeds. And is that where the big step up used to be? No, it's back. So it's really cool.
Yeah, that's
great.
They're having that happen in at Toboggan Trails. Some of the people watching will know this Ann Arbor set. So those have been around for years. Now they're actually in a public park, so I don't got to worry about them getting knocked down and like anyone can go. Well, some of the old trailheads are starting to come back, and they're like, over here, there's a run right over there, and they just found another run over there they're working on, and that's fun stuff right there, because now that's kind of they might have been the first gen, and I'm sure this is happening, but now their kids are getting into it, so they're back and seeing all that come around. And
yeah, you see a ton of that with the trail series.
Yeah.
Like I ran into guys that I used to ride with when I was a kid who are now getting back into it with their kids. It's like, whoa, like haven't seen you in forever. And a lot of those moments, and you just see a lot of dads and kids and moms for that matter, and kids coming out to ride. And it's really cool. It's a family fun event.
Yeah.
Everyone's welcome, and everyone will have a good time.
Yeah, it's neat to see that. Yeah. We get that with the race side also, where
there's another resurgence of that happening.
Yeah, like the next generations coming up type of thing. Yeah.
Well, they're the cool group that comes and hangs out. That they've always been trail riders. So they're out of the Jackson, kind of Lansing area. They're kind of the ripshit crew. They got some huge trails from their areas, and now their kids are getting involved and they're racing. And I'm like, wait, I saw you like way back in the day, and now they're back. They're racing. They've still got their trails and things. So hopefully they tune in and hear about this stuff too, because it's good stuff. Angela brings a great comment here, and then we'll get our answer. And because we did get a winner, Angela has a great comment here. The Sandlot last year in Norwalk, Ohio, was my first jam, and it was an incredible time. The best people, and I got to witness something new, which was incredible. I got some amazing photos that day, and then chiming in is CB the Bird from YouTube. Says my kid's 3 and has been rolling down into the dirt jumps since he started on his balance bike. He's now on a little 12-inch one Haro, and he's learning how to pedal, and he's doing this out at the trails. So, that's awesome. These are great stories. Thank you guys for sharing. Mostly the skate parks, but we hit some trails sometimes. Okay. Nice. Thanks. So, Travis, the answer to what was the first track you raced at was
Cobra BMX.
There we go. All right. So, we actually had a couple people get it right. The first one that came through on our end was Ryan Hogan.
No.
Followed by Todd. It's right there. Brooklyn BMX was wrong. Somebody did answer, not Hamilton BMX. Tom Brady Raceway. No, there was no Tom Brady Raceway. So thank you guys for playing along with us.
His last name was Hogan?
Yeah, Hogan. Ryan, please message myself, Melissa, Chris, or just message the show page with your address, and we'll get this shipped out to you. Thank you guys for playing along in the trivia segment with us. That's August, the character. He said Todd and I are going to meet our next exes at the Trail Series. This sounds like a great vibe, man.
It does sound like
making it more and more like it's going to be
on the 26th, right?
Yeah. Dude, it's sounding like it.
26th of July?
Yeah.
I know it's your birthday.
Yep.
Yeah, I was going to say, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's at the Norwalk ones. And I'm pretty sure I rode those when.
Yeah, they've been there also rode there when I was like 11 or 12.
The racetrack was kind of by it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did ride these. I rode them a handful of times, actually.
They've been there forever.
Okay. I mean, I vaguely remember them, but I remember
Alan Camp and his buds have brought them back, and they're better than they've ever been. They're really great trails.
Yeah, there was it a regional? No, it might have been a national. Keith, the guy that used to work at Ray's, was an announcer, and it was a national we did at Norwalk. I remember riding those trails afterwards, and some other times just on road trips because we'd stop there on our way down and around. So. Yeah, those aren't even that far from here. It's like on your way to Cedar Point. It's before Cedar Point. It's not even far from me. Yeah. All right. Same ones, though, right?
Same ones. Yeah, Norwalk is just south of Sandusky.
Yeah. Oh, Norwalk, Ohio. Yeah.
That's not too bad.
Remember when they had the NBL track back in the day there?
I'm trying to remember the name of it.
I think it was just Norwalk BMX was the BMX track back
be.
in the day. It was like in front of the hospital, which was always funny because the thing is like they didn't even need to load you.
It's right there.
They didn't even need to load you on the ambulance. Just roll your ass over to the hospital.
Didn't they have a pump track in like Sandusky or
something?
There is a pump track.
They have a pump track in Norwalk.
And they got one in Norwalk, and they're both Tom Ritz, the pump track guy, right? Because I know, they are.
Tom Ritz did that.
Well, the one in Sandusky.
Really awesome skate park that just opened in Sandusky right on the lake. That's pretty cool if you're into that.
Yeah, the pump track they redid. So I was talking to one of the brothers, the Strebe brothers. He was helping on the rebuild of it. And
Nathan?
Yeah, I think it was Nate. They were saying, they're going to redo that, give it a facelift, because that's the one when you ride it, right? You can look right over at Cedar Point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They took the pump track out in Sandusky. Evidently, it's not rebuilt then. I thought they maybe they moved it.
Yeah, I think when we had Ritz on, he was upset because they tore it out and
did something else.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a possibility. But I know that like Travis said, there's one in Norwalk. So there you go. We got plenty of stuff to ride, Chris.
Okay.
It's probably. And I gotta go too. I gotta work this one in.
Cliffs too. That's a good one because they have it's a bike park with actual jumps and pump track.
Cliffs. I haven't been to that one either, and man,
you gotta check that one out.
Dude, I get made fun of because I haven't been to it. That's a fun Cliffs bike park. Yeah, it's super nice. It's out. It's just public. Just show up and ride it.
I don't know if I could ride this stuff, but
don't worry. That
cool.
carbon fiber's speed
Yeah,
supercross will
I
do
can't-
just fine.
I can't imagine get too many carbon fiber bikes out there on the trail.
Oh, that's okay. So thanks, Todd, for clearing that up. They ran out of funds on the rebuild, but they're working on getting it built in a different location. Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's why they spent all the money on the skate park. That makes
It's
sense.
a nice skate park. It's a really nice skate park.
Is it next to where the pump track was?
I don't even know.
If you guys know, put that in there because they did have. The last time I was there, I think it was a year ago or something. No, 2 years ago. That it was just a few metal ramps next to the pump track there. Look, now we can just keep going here. But I want to toss it over to you, Travis, for shout-outs, closeouts. Thank you guys, everyone tuning in. We really appreciate it. A lot of new names. It was a lot of fun hanging out with you guys. And looking forward to seeing you guys possibly on the 26th.
Please like and subscribe.
Yeah, do all that
All
fun
the new
stuff.
people it helps us. You won't believe how much it helps.
Yeah. All right.
All right. I just wanted to take a minute to thank all of our sponsors and share with you guys who sponsors the Ohio BMX Trail Series. I'll just kind of run down the list here, but we have Ray's Indoor Mountain Bike Park, RBMX, early 2000s, Animal Bikes, Radshare, a very cool program that Steve Crandall's running, Pump Tracks USA, CC Bike Co. out of Kansas, Colt Bikes, Downtown Cycles, Newark, DK, Red Bull USA. I got to turn the page because there's pages.
All right.
And then there's, Subrosa, Shadow Conspiracy, Shadow Riding Gear, Rant, John Quartz Metalworks, Dan's Comp. We have Mike's Bike Park, Albies. Another cool one that I wanted to get involved with the series is Poor Boy Steve. You guys remember Poor Boy in the 90s?
Yep.
Yep. He's a trail guy. Here's another very cool one, and there's like a little quick story to go with it, and I'll be quick, I promise.
No, you're fine. You got all the time you want.
We're not.
The Rug Plug is a company that my new friend Caleb Graves, who you'll see plenty of pictures of him on all the Trail Series pages because he's a total shredder. He started this company and he makes custom rugs, and he actually made a custom Ohio BMX Trail Series rug and donated it, and we're going to raffle it off, and it's that shovel graphic in the form of a rug.
I would hold it up
right now. It's super, super cool. And we're going to raffle that off. I'm going to actually bring it to Apple Creek to be raffled. So that will be available July 19th. If you're interested in that, you buy a ticket, maybe you'll go home with it. But that was all courtesy of Caleb. And the fun fact about Caleb is the first time I met him was at my jam last year in September. He looked super familiar to me. I just couldn't put my finger on it. And it turns out that I used to ride with his dad all the time through the streets of West Columbus when we were kids in the 90s. And lo and behold, my friend Chad's son shows up at my house one day to ride 30 plus years later. And he's a spitting image of his father, by the way.
Wow.
But and here he is doing these rad things for BMX. So that generational BMX,
right?
Everything comes together. So really love the
cool.
Rug Plug connection. Another cool sponsor we have is Time BMX.
Again? I'm sorry.
I'm
What's
not
the
sure
name?
if you guys are familiar with that.
I got it on the screen, Chris.
Got it. Okay. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. Time BMX is an app that you can download, and they just put all BMX related events. So if like you want to go ride this weekend, your buddies are all being lame, want to sit on the couch, but you still want to go get after it, you go to Time BMX and you can find out what events are in your area and in the country and all over the world. And also every Ohio BMX Trail Series event is on Time BMX as well. You put in your zip code and it shows you all the different spots to ride all around you. It's such an amazing app.
And it's everything BMX. It's
it's got tracks
trails,
too.
Yeah.
race tracks, bike
all the way
parks.
to like street riding sessions.
Yes.
If it's an event.
Yeah, go download this for real because there is skate parks, trails.
Such a cool app.
It's awesome. Yeah. All right, you got more.
All right. Then we have Chad Powers of Powers BMX, another awesome guy. He has a legendary BMX shop and the BMX museum in Richmond, Virginia. I had the pleasure of going to visit, and a lot of cool old race bikes amongst many other cool things that he has there. And I'm sure Wes Huddleston has quite a few bikes there as well. Um, then now I'm just going to kind of thank some of our supporters that we have had tons of help from throughout the season. These are Ohio guys, sometimes I guess out of Ohio, like in Wes's case. But I'll just start with Wes Huddleston. I wanted to thank him so much for what he's done for the series and continues to do. It's guys like him that drive the series. And I think that we're going to accomplish really great things together with people like Wes and with Wes's involvement specifically. I want to give a shout out to Steven Savage of Hard Hands Print Shop. He's out there making really cool merchandise for guys like me to sell to support our cause, and does a lot of extra cool stuff too. Just a really nice guy that's reached out through this whole series blowing up, and came to know, and he's just a really awesome guy. Chuck Nagy, where do I begin? He's my guy. Love what you've done for us. Thank you, Chuck. You're the best. This list is pretty long, so buckle up.
Yeah.
I got to thank Brant Moore. Brant, another great person to be involved with the Ohio BMX Trail Series. Without Brant, I would not have these awesome frames behind me. So thank you, Brant, for everything you do. Matt Sabo, thank you for his design work. This season's Trail Series main shirt with like the schedule on the back was designed by Matt. And then Shane Bolin of Old Fools BMX designed the second shirt we have, which we're calling the Metcalf T-Bog t-shirt. It's pretty awesome. Shane did the artwork for that. And if you guys are familiar with Old Fools, he's done a lot of cool things for the sport over the years. Yeah, I mean, he's great. He's also given me tons of good advice through this whole process. The series started to get big, and what am I doing? Well, he's been running big events for years and was able to give me a lot of good insight. I got to thank Randy Stamper for being such a pillar of the trail community by going to all the different trail spots, or organizing these dig days, group dig days, where we can get, in some cases, 20, 30 guys out to one of the stops on the series and just get tons of work done in one afternoon from those efforts. So thank you, Randy. I got to thank all the trail bosses, of course. We have Chris Myers, Alan Camp, Jeff Irwin, Will Sims, a whole group of guys, including Handsome Joe from Overlook, and also in Dayton. I just want to thank all those guys. Without all these trail spots, this would just be a really lame event in my backyard. So you guys are the best, and thank you for doing this with us and with me, and just making Ohio awesome again. John Kortz, I can't begin to thank you enough for what you've done for us and what you've allowed us to give back to the Ohio community with these sweet frames sitting behind me. Got to thank Ryan Hogan, Spunky, for all the help he gives me personally at my trails, my spot Shredwood. And he also is a huge help on jam days by kind of taking over the table for me so I can go get some laps in. Todd Latee, thank you for all your social media help. Corey Faust, thanks for driving from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to come to our events. Another huge thank you to Jeff Killian. He goes by the Instagram handle Old Dirty Dangles, but he built a website that you mentioned earlier, operates so great. That's all thanks to him. He also is a very talented photographer and shares his pictures with us all the time. So we get to relive these events through his pictures. Jake Lord, I don't know if you guys have heard of Jake Lord from the freestyle world yet, but you will if you keep watching. Very talented guy, and he makes our flyers for us. He also comes to our jams and does wild stuff on his bike to really get that vibe going. Just an awesome person, and he's not from Ohio. He just comes here for it. It's pretty awesome. Alan Wynell making stickers for us, grinding it out, keeping our merch dreams alive. Thank you. I can just go on. There's so many people. You guys know who you are. We're doing this together, the entire state, every trail spot, all the riders, the people that come to our jams, who become part of our organization group because they love it so much and they come all the time and they just organically become part of it. So just thanks to everyone for making this happen. And thanks to you guys for letting me talk about it.
Anytime. Look forward to having you back on when you guys wrap up the series. Yeah, definitely. I want to get you back on so we can talk some more then on how everything went.
Sounds awesome. We can recap it with some footage.
Yeah, exactly.
Fires. Some more fire videos.
Yes.
Fire videos.
Yeah, buddy.
Right on.
Travis, this has been a great time. Thank you so much again.
All right, thank you guys. Have a great night.
Yeah, and everyone that tuned in, thank you guys. We really appreciate it. Chris, you want to close us on out and we'll hop out of here, man.
All right. Again, everybody, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Travis, it was cool to get to know you a little bit better. Appreciate your time. And everybody else, hey, we're going to be off next week. We're going racing.
That's right.
Yeah, so everybody else, go ride your trails, get out and race next Wednesday night, because that's what we're going to be doing. So we'll see you the week after that. And that's all we got, right? Yeah,
I'm good.
All right. So everybody, again, thanks for joining us. God bless you. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Have a good night.